Hello and welcome back to the Literature Therapy. I should probably begin by saying that I don't have anything against self help. Some self help books are genuinely useful. Some have helped millions of people. Some contain advice that is practical, thoughtful, and worth taking seriously. This is not a video about dismissing an entire genre. But I do think self help and bibliotherapy are trying to do fundamentally different things. And once I understood that difference, a lot of my own reading life started making more sense. Most self help books begin with an assumption, and the assumption is that you want to change. You want to become more disciplined, more confident, productive, resilient, successful. The exact destination varies, but there is usually a destination. The reader starts here, the book helps them move there. It's a perfectly reasonable model. Bibliotherapy starts somewhere else. It starts with understanding, not improvement, not optimization, understanding. And those are not the same thing. One of the things I notice when people talk about self-help is how quickly the conversation moves towards solution. How do I stop procrastinating? How do I become more confident? How do I manage anxiety? How do I build better habits? Again, these are all valid questions. But literature often asks different questions. Why am I avoiding this? What am I actually afraid of? What part of this situation feels impossible? What story am I telling myself about who I am? Those questions tend to take longer. They're less efficient. Sometimes they're slightly uncomfortable, but they're often where the interesting answers live. I think this is one reason literature has remained important for so many centuries. Novels are not particularly efficient. Poetry is not efficient. Essays are certainly not efficient. If efficiency were the goal, humanity would have abandoned most of literature a very long time ago. Instead, we keep returning to it because literature is interested in complexity. And unfortunately, human beings are complex. A self-help book might tell you how to become more confident. A novel might show you a character desperately pretending to be confident while slowly destroying their own life. And occasionally, the second lesson lands harder than the first. Not because the novel offered advice, because it offered recognition. One of the things I love about literature is that it doesn't always rush to solve the problem. It stays with it. It examines it, it turns it over, it follows it into uncomfortable places. This can be frustrating if you're looking for immediate answers, but it's incredibly valuable if you're trying to understand yourself. Because self-understanding is rarely a straight line. Most people don't arrive at insight through a list of instructions. They arrive there gradually by noticing patterns and recognizing themselves in stories, by seeing their own behavior reflected somewhere outside themselves. And it definitely takes time. I think that's why certain novels stay with us for years, not because they told us what to do, because they showed us something we hadn't fully seen before. Perhaps a fear, perhaps a habit, perhaps a desire we'd been avoiding, perhaps a version of ourselves we'd rather not acknowledge. Literature has a slightly irritating habit of doing that. You pick up a book expecting to learn about someone else and end up learning something about yourself instead. Which honestly feels a little unfair, but it happens surprisingly often. And this is where bibliotherapy lives, not in telling readers who they should become, in helping readers notice who they already are. The habits they carry, the stories they tell themselves, the emotional patterns they repeat, the assumptions they rarely question. Because understanding usually comes before change. And without understanding, change has a habit of becoming performance. You learn the language, you follow the system, you adopt the habit, but nothing underneath actually shifts. Bibliotherapy is interested in the underneath, the deeper layer, the reasons, the pattern, the meaning. And I think that's why I've always felt drawn to it. Not because literature provides answers. Honestly, literature often provides more questions. But they tend to be better questions. Questions worth carrying around for a while, questions worth journaling about, questions worth living with. If you've ever finished a novel and realized it somehow knew something about you before you did, you've already experienced a small piece of what bibliotherapy is trying to do